This is Boxes and Briefs, a podcast with real-life business stories. But we will be asking the hard questions and challenging traditions. So broaden your thinking with fresh perspectives and solve problems for business success. And welcome to another episode of Boxes and Briefs. My name's Lisa.
I'm Lucy.
And today we have with us Iyia. Is that how I say it?
It is.
Excellent. Iyia started her first business at the age of only 21, and it was a side hustle with the intention of making some extra cash on the side just to pay her rent. Since then, though, she's launched several other multi-million-dollar businesses.
Wow.
We're talking big. Landed 3 seasons of her own reality TV show and spoken at over 40 conferences globally. We want to get into this. Tell us. What were your businesses? What are these multi-million-dollar things that you've created?
So when I was 21, I remember thinking, I had all these odd jobs.
Yeah.
I had retail and I was just doing hospo and like events. And then I was like, I feel like there's got to be a better way in terms of something more passive. And I thought if I just start a website and I list a few items and they sell, maybe at nighttime or whenever, and I can just package those orders at night, get them out. It was in my head. I was like, this is like a passive form of income. Yeah.
But you actually did it. A lot of people have these thoughts. You actually did it.
I know. I think the reason it's because back then I used Shopify, and Shopify, I think that's the website platform, and it was maybe like $29 a month, and I kind of thought, like, if I just set up this $29 a month website and set up free social media accounts, like, what am I really going to lose? You know, I'll order like 10, 20 pieces of shapewear. I started off doing shapewear, and if I don't sell it, like, okay, I've lost 20 pieces of shapewear.
So is it like buying somebody else's product, marking it up and selling it again?
It is, but if you think of like any business really, in terms of like product business, that is what they're doing. That is, they are buying from somebody and putting a markup on and selling to their end audience.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's literally how I started.
It took off?
It did. I did have actually one business before that which I couldn't really get off the ground. It was like a clothing retail. But then I thought, okay, I'm going to try this shapewear and see how the shapewear goes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the clothing, I could not get it to work, but then the shapewear within, I can't remember, it was pretty quick. I think like I launched it in March, and I think by maybe like April, May even, I was doing like hundreds of orders a day.
Really?
Yeah. So
just with free social media accounts.
So the reason I originally saw the product on somebody else, I saw somebody else wearing it on Instagram, and that made me want to purchase it as a consumer. So I thought, if that is how I've just purchased it from this person, this is obviously a form of marketing that works. So I just started sending out product to people on Instagram, and this is before influencer marketing existed. Like I was just sending product out to people online to share, and we just really scaled that up. So we would start from like just gifting product, and then started paying people with larger and larger audiences, like $100, $1,000, 10 grand. And then we ended up actually working with Kylie Jenner.
Ooh.
I know.
How did that happen?
Well, I guess, we're already on this trajectory where it's working. All of this influencer marketing is working. May as well go for
gold.
The big one. Yeah.
Why not?
I know. So some people are like, oh, well, how did you get the money? It was just all from the sales from the business.
Right.
So reinvesting.
How did you contact?
I remember I was trying to find a contact for Kris Jenner. I just like Googled it, and I emailed her, and I actually did not hear back from her. But actually, a celebrity talent agent emailed me. They were like, we see you're working with tons of people.
Yeah.
Already paying people like 10, 20 grand.
Yeah.
So would you like to work with our list of celebrities? And I remember on that list, there was like, I can't remember who they were, like Khloe Kardashian, like a huge bunch of celebrities. You could like take your pick.
Yeah.
And I kind of just thought Kylie, she was like at the top, but also like I felt like she fitted the brand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so it was just started like that. And she did, what kind of work did she do for you?
She literally just took a photo and put it on her Instagram and Facebook.
And that was it?
Yes.
What did that cost?
About 300 grand.
How much money did you make from that?
That wasn't really like a money-making thing. That was more brand awareness and just like building up the brand, I guess.
But obviously to spend that kind of money, you had that money.
Yeah, I did, yeah. And then I remember going to the bank and being like, am I going to be scammed? Or like, is this legitimate? And even the bank was like, make sure you check it's like legitimate. Yeah.
It is scary when you start playing with numbers like that.
Yeah.
So how long ago was that?
That was 2015.
Okay.
So I don't know how long, 9 years ago.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you just started it by paying the $29 a month for Shopify.
I did.
That was your investment.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why when people were like, I'm so scared, I'm like, what are you scared of? It's $29 a month and then you order like a small amount of inventory
Do
or
you
whatever.
actually think, though, that 9 years later, that same exact strategy would work now?
I have used it on multiple of my businesses.
And it's
since
still
then.
working?
Yeah, pretty much.
You've just got to find that right product, I'm guessing.
Yes and no. Like I most recently, around COVID, I launched a hair care business, and so that was 2020. And I don't think there wasn't like any. I don't think it was like that special, but again, it's just sending out product to people on social media, causing that hype, making it seem like a lot of people are interested in your product, like your product, and all the successful e-com brands, I'd say, they all use that same strategy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep
Yeah.
using it. So of all of these businesses that you've done with different products, same strategy, which one has been the most successful?
I think the shapewear one was, and then also, so I did shapewear, supplements, they all were pretty busy. Shapewear, supplements, gift boxes, and then the hair care. The gift box business is doing really well now. I sold it, and one of the girls that works there, that she was like, oh, we're doing $1 million months sometimes. I was like, cool. Wasn't doing that when I owned it, but it's fine.
Should have kept shares.
Yeah, but yeah.
So how much time, how much of your life would go into this kind of thing?
I don't know. I think when I started, I didn't have kids or anything, so I would work a lot because it was fun for me. It was like my hobby, you know, seeing it grow and making all this money. And then now I'm not able to. I've got like 2 young kids. So even though I'd like to work more on my businesses, I'm like, okay, this is just not possible in your current circumstances.
Okay.
Right.
I know, so I wish I could do more, but it's fine.
One day.
Yeah.
Maybe you can create a mini-me.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you see happening in the future? Are there products you've got your eye on that you're going to launch as new businesses?
So right now I am doing this thing called Make It Happen. Essentially, I'm now teaching other people how to start their own business. So I've got a series of online trainings, which come with like a community and like live sessions with me. And we've got around 1,700 students at the moment.
Wow.
Basically, yeah, like I'm just teaching them how I grew my business.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably what I'll do going forwards.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've done my time in all these e-com businesses. It's been hard work, super fun, fulfilling, but also I feel like I can just do something more passive now. It's much more passive. People just buy this course and
Okay.
Excellent.
yeah, it's much easier.
Cool. So for people who are just starting out.
A lot of people that buy the course actually, they have existing businesses as well, and they just want to implement some more or learn some more marketing strategies. So yeah, it's a mixture of both. The course does teach people from the get-go, but also there's multiple segments on growth.
Cool.
Yeah.
Boxes and Briefs is proudly brought to you by Gilligan Shepherd, the problem solvers in business.
All right, we're back. I want to know, with all of these products that you've launched using this strategy, you said before that it had to fit the brand. So what is the brand and how did you figure out what fits?
Well, what I pretty much tell to everyone is you can actually sell anything as long as you do your branding and your marketing right. So it's like, why does somebody spend $4,000 on a Louis Vuitton bag when you can actually just go buy a bag for like $40?
Yeah.
It's all about your marketing, your branding. So what has made my businesses really successful is like sending product out to people, making it seem like everybody loves the brand, making sure that all of your branding is in line with your business. So if you've got a very serious business or a formal business, your branding, your fonts, your colors, they all have to be in line with that.
Yeah.
Versus if you had a fun business, it could be bright, colourful, but some people think branding is just the logo. It's like, actually, no, it extends to every part of your business.
Would I be right in saying the brand is how you make your customers feel?
It is, yeah. And I guess it's also like, if you've got a fun brand, you probably have a customer that has got that personality versus a serious customer that might choose a serious brand. So who do you want to be your customer?
Yeah. Who do you want? Dress yourself up as that. Make it strong.
Yeah.
And then use that strategy. I love it. Okay. So was there any big boo-boos, mistakes, lessons learnt that you can share with anybody else who's maybe thinking about doing this?
It's quite funny because over 9 years, I feel like with multiple businesses, I had mistakes in all of them over 9 years. I just don't think it's possible to be like, I'm fully, even though I know what I'm doing now, to avoid mistakes. Sometimes things just happen.
Yeah.
I remember with my hair care business, so this must have been 3 or 4 years ago. Like I lost this huge shipment. It was on the water. I had insurance, but it was like 90 grand of goods just went missing.
God.
And then, you got insurance, but then it also meant our customers couldn't get any product.
Yeah.
I had to refund everyone. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Things like that. There was something wrong with our platform. Some items got double shipped. I think it cost me like 40 grand.
Wow.
It's just like expensive mistakes, which are inevitable. Like
out of your control.
They are. And also when I had my gift box business, I was doing so much marketing because I was like, this is how you grow it. I already know how to grow it.
Yeah.
And then in the 6th week, we just sold way too many gift boxes. We couldn't actually fulfill the orders, and we got like heaps of bad media because we oversold and we couldn't deliver.
Right.
So like things like that, it's like I couldn't really foresee them, but
So
maybe I
then
could,
is there a process that you go through then, that the mistake happens and you go acknowledge what's happened and try and come up with the best fix and just move on, or does it affect you?
I think when I was at the start, when I was like 21, if a small mistake would happen or there would be a problem, I would be very affected.
Yeah.
But then over time, you just become more resilient.
Okay.
I think you just learn like, okay, problem, solution, find a solution, move on.
I love
Nice.
it. It makes it sound so easy, but if I lost 90 grand, I'd be panicking. Okay. Was there a particular moment where you felt like, I've made it, I've actually put in all of the hard work, I'm a successful business owner? Was there a moment?
I think like when I actually sold my shapewear, my supplement business when I would have been maybe 23.
Yeah.
And I remember I got this offer for like multiples, like it was 7 figures, but like multiple. And then in New Zealand, there's no capital gains tax on a business sale. So, at 23, I was like, whoa, this is a lot of money. So even then I was like, I feel like this is a cool accomplishment for a 23-year-old.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But then also, I remember, I think it was maybe 24, 25, and I was like, I'm working so much, but I feel quite unfulfilled. Like I'm so busy that I don't have time to hang out with my friends. I don't have time to see anyone else. I actually feel very lonely.
Yeah.
So I think over time I realized like actually like work is one part of your life, but also it's very important to have that balance, still maintain relationships. My kids, very fulfilling. So ensuring that you do not neglect your relationships because financial success it's not everything.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I've always thought that the business fuels the lifestyle. So if your lifestyle is working a lot, go for it. But if you've got other things, like you're saying, that you want to get out of life, then you've got to make room for them.
And I feel like often people don't know until they're in that position. They're going, okay, this is actually not what I thought it would is. Or
But that's okay. You figure it out. You pivot. Yeah. So then what would be your top 3 priorities when running your own business?
I'd say the first one is just giving it your all. Like, how can you beat all the other people trying to run businesses? It's putting in that time, that love, that effort to really grow it, and also like not working in it. Like this is very common feedback, but like not working in it and making sure that as the business owner you are focusing on growing the business.
Yeah, that would be the same as like as soon as you've figured out a role, you replace that role with somebody else so that you can move on to do something else that grows.
Totally.
So it's kind of continual replacement of you, so you don't get stuck in it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like being like, what do I absolutely need to do myself? What absolutely requires me?
Yes.
And anything else, can I outsource it?
Yes.
So that I can work on those more important things.
And obviously there's a line there between figuring out when you can afford that as to how successful a business is or what profit it's making or how much more investment you have to put into it time-wise before it gets to that point. I heard a calculation, I think it was in another podcast we did, which is as soon as you've got enough 80% work that you can hand off to somebody else, that's when you get somebody else in.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Have you got your 2 other priorities? I imagine one has to be looking after yourself somehow.
Yeah, I think like, you know, like a lot of business owners, they put so much into their business that they do neglect themselves a little bit, and then they'll get to a tipping point where they do feel a little bit burnt out, and then they'll just have to pull back. So yes, it is, you're right, like being conscious of, am I going to reach burnout?
Yeah.
And making sure that you do delegate. And so,
What are your
so
signs of burnout?
I remember last year, probably actually when I had, I was pregnant and I was running a marketing agency. And
As you do.
Yeah. I was pregnant running a marketing agency, and there was just so many staff. So there was a lot of staff issues, you know.
Okay.
They're all young people on my team, all social media marketing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. I just already don't feel good. And then all these people keep coming to me with problems. And then I just couldn't sleep at night, you know.
Oh.
So then you get to that point where you're like, I'm not even sleeping.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's other signs, but for everybody that's probably different.
Not sleeping for
Yeah.
you.
And I ended up actually selling my marketing agency to 2 of the girls that worked for me the longest. Because I was like, I feel like I need to do something more passive right now for me in this stage of life where I have 2 young kids. It's like too full on.
Yeah.
And I'll come back later.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do to look after yourself? What's your go-to?
I do love to exercise a lot. I love my Pilates. I walk on the treadmill.
Yeah.
I after me figuring out like it's so important to maintain the relationships in my life, I have continued to prioritize seeing friends, doing activities with friends and family, and maintaining the relationships in my life.
Socializing.
Yes. So socializing and exercising probably.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. And your last tip that you'd like to leave with our listeners for those who are entrepreneurial?
Probably just do it. Yeah, because one of the main things I get is I'm so scared to fail. So it's like actually right now is the cheapest time to start a business compared to traditionally you've got your large leases versus now it's like you've got social media, which is free. You can just set up a Shopify website for $29 a month.
Yeah.
It's very low risk. So if you want to do it, like if you're scared to fail, what are you really losing?
Yep.
Nice.
Maybe $29 a month for a year.
Yeah.
And some time.
Yeah, some time.
But you never know what it could be. You could end up paying Kendall Jenner 300 grand.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I remember my original goal when I started, I was like, I just want to sell 10 products a week. That's my goal. 10 products a week. That would be really cool. $30 profit each. That's $300 to help me pay my rent, which I was flatting. I was paying like $240 a week or something. And then it really just escalated. I'm like, if you just set yourself an achievable goal, it doesn't actually seem so overwhelming.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time and spending time with us. If our listeners want to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
My website is Make It Happen.
Make it happen.
Yeah, or my Instagram is Make It Happen as well.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Boxes and Briefs is proudly brought to you by Gilligan Shepherd, the problem solvers in business.